All right, what up, guys? Big game Sunday, Bucs Colts. Um, Bucs are dealing with injuries. Jamal Dean is likely week to week. Initially, it's better than they thought. Um, he's probably out this week and maybe next week. Um, Carlton's limited. I don't know how much talk I would put into that because it was literally a walkthrough yesterday. He was at practice today, a light day on Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, um, I'm hoping he can go. I don't want to have to start McCollum and um, who was the guy that we just brought up? Kenny Isaac. He has length, but yeah, I think he's played like 5 snaps all year, maybe, or maybe less than that. Waiting for Core to join. What else? LVD looks like Jeremy Fowler. Um, said bearing a late week improvement. Is a long shot to play. Um, hoping he could play next week. Even though we're playing the Panthers, they got some good running backs, but I think we can. I'm hoping Devin White could play. He played every snap against the Niners. Um, so I invited some people. I don't know how many are going to join. Um, so yeah, yeah, guys. It says there's one person watching. Yo, Corey is in here. I sent you an invite. Click that link if it is you, or whoever's in here. Oh crap.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, Corey? What up,
What
man?
up, man? Doing all right. Sorry about that. I was, holidays, and I was with the fam earlier, and I work nights, so I was just chilling at the house. So this light on. There you go. So
Okay.
I'm headed into
Yo,
work
we got
now.
Corey in here. Bucs Colts on Sunday. Got some injuries. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping Carlton can play. Um, walked through yesterday. I don't, I don't know. Hopefully, he can get some running in tomorrow. But Dean probably out this week and week to week. I don't know if he even play next week. I mean, we really need Levante, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
who
Let's
we
see
really
what
need.
Savastia Dennis has and KJ Britt.
Yeah, this is a great audition for Savassi Dennis because I personally believe he's going to be Devin White's replacement. The amount of money Devin White is going to feel like he's worth. I just don't see us paying it. And I don't know. Devin White's always been about energy, so I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just I don't know or if he's just not feel like he's being used correctly.
Yeah.
I've never seen Devin White play so lackluster as much as I've seen this season. I thought
Mm-hmm.
he had a really good game against Tennessee,
Yeah.
against
Oh yeah. He
Houston.
was all over the field.
Yeah, I thought he was everywhere against Houston. He had a sack early in that game. He
Mm-hmm.
had a couple of TFLs, but it's just like you can't do that one game here, one game there, and then three tackles against when we play a physical team and we need our middle linebackers. When everybody's sitting here looking at the Niners linebacker, the best linebacker in the league, really. Um,
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner. Everybody's sitting here looking at Fred Warner, and that's your contemporary, man. Like you gotta bring it, bro. It's like you gotta bring it. This is LeBron and Kevin Durant at the middle linebacker position. From your perspective, is what it should be, and Fred Warner's all over the field. He looks like a safety. He looks like a linebacker. He was everywhere. He even
Mm-hmm.
dropped an interception. And it's just like the amount of money Devin White is looking for. I'm just
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, we're not paying 20 million. I'd rather pay Evans 20 million.
I mean, I'd rather pay Levante 20 million, man, and that ain't obviously we're not going to pay him that, but
You only
I
took
mean, I
eight
know.
and a half, I think. 8.5 or 9. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah, like you said, I'd rather just give it to Mike, but I don't think Mike's really going to be demanding 20 million a year for this last couple. They'll figure out the Mike Evans situation, I'm certain. And one thing I do want to say, Winfield is intriguing. Wirfs is. Honestly, I wish. I think we moved Wirfs to left tackle a year too early because we're gonna have to pay him as a left tackle instead of a right tackle,
more
and
money.
it's a significant amount. Now, if we had a excuse me, if we had a left-handed quarterback, it'd be a different conversation. But
Yeah.
and he's so good. He just gave up his first sack of the year, and quite frankly, that was on the coaching staff because I wouldn't even have put him back on the field. I wouldn't even put him back in the game,
He was full practice the last 2 days.
which is awesome. Yeah, that's good news.
So,
So,
and Godwin had a little knee slash elbow. I don't know.
it hurts my feelings to hear any injury problems with Chris Godwin because he's just out there doing cardio most of these games, and it's very frustrating because when they throw him the ball, he catches. I think he has a 100% catch rate right now. It's like 97. It's high for his
Yeah, no
amount of time.
drops. No
No
drops, Corey.
drops. Yeah,
No
no
drops.
drops. And I'm like, at some point, you gotta just get this guy the ball. I don't care if it's now if he's double covered or whatever. That it is what it is. But you have to give him opportunities if he's singled up. Going like it was so weird to see how he dominated the Saints without Mike Evans. Like it's like, oh yeah, Chris Godwin was here. Let's throw him the ball. I'm like, yeah, he's been there. Like
Yeah.
our offensive aerial attack should be way more potent than what it is. Um, just based off who I believe, who I thought Baker Mayfield. I don't know if it's the system. Like I said, I just go back to that, and I really think that's what it is. Because Baker Mayfield is he's like a smaller version of Jameis, like as far as like throwing the ball. Like,
Mhm.
obviously we don't want the turnovers. I don't. None of us want that. But he was. I just he was. I remember watching him in Carolina that Week 1 game when they almost beat Cleveland, and he was throwing the ball out. He started off extremely slow, but then he started throwing the ball all over the field. Like Robbie Anderson, like a 78-yard touchdown pass. Like it's just weird to see. It looks like our offense is in a box, and we don't play outside that box unless we have to.
And get Rashad White the ball more in space.
Look, Rashad White is our de facto third receiver. We're just gonna have to
Trey
like
Palmer in there too.
they're by committee. Like Trey, Devin, and to a lesser extent Raheem Jarrett, who just went on IR.
Yeah,
His
he made that catch. He seemed fine after that, but I didn't see him after that.
I
Quad
hate that he
injury.
went on
I
IR.
guess he tore his quad or something, or significant, like a grade 3 or something like that.
So we got we should. I mean, with all that considered, I think we're a better team than any. Much like we were a better team than Tennessee. And it's just crazy to think of how this season has evolved or devolved. Because let's just be honest, I'm really hard on the coaching staff. I'm extremely hard on them just because I see there's levels to like coaching and tiers. But at the end of the day, quite frankly, we should have beat Atlanta at home. We should have beat Atlanta, and we for sure should have beat Houston. And it's like that's too
Corey,
many.
I was so bro. I was like, oh my god. But I
We
mean,
should have
we're
beat.
still in this division race. I mean, I think we're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
have.
yeah. It's division. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to win the division, even though Seattle. I don't know what the score is, but they were down like 24-13 last time I checked.
Yeah.
They got the
24-13.
Cowboys,
Yeah. They got
Eagles,
a tough schedule. They
and
got a tough schedule.
so they
I
could be
mean, even
6-8.
Minnesota hasn't played Detroit yet at all, so they still got 2 games with Detroit. Um, they still have, I'm trying to think. Minnesota's schedule is not the easiest, but I mean, Josh Dobbs is playing outside of his mind. Like he has to come back down to earth. They can't keep winning games with Joshua Dobbs. Like it's just no way. And I know
He's
Jefferson's coming back here shortly, but Dobbs
they
is.
have a bye week next week, so they're not gonna rush him. I don't think he's playing this
Oh,
week.
that's great. Oh no,
They're
I'm
playing the
with you.
Bears, so
They should beat the Bears, but the Bears are a weird team. Um, they should have beat Detroit last week, but I don't. Want, I don't this is a. I don't want to digress from my Bucks because that's who gets all my attention. Um, but
you got
but
five. You got 5 more minutes, or you got to go. I don't want to. I don't want to keep you.
no, that's cool. I'm good. I'm already at work. I'll just clock in. I'll clock in when I go in. It'll be fine. It's okay.
What do
But
you? You say you do security?
yeah, this is my night job. During the day, I teach. I teach fifth grade during the day. So
What time do you get off? Like 8 a.m.
nah, 6.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
No. It's not terrible. It's
On
pretty cool.
Thanksgiving?
But yeah. I worked last night too because we get double time. So
Yeah.
it's easy. I just drive around in the little vehicle and
You think LVD plays one more year? We give him one more deal. I mean, a
I think
1 year deal.
I think we keep him a Buccaneer as long as he wants to play. If he decides to retire, he needs to retire a Buccaneer. I hate like the Mike Evans situation is so weird to me because we've paid so many other players, and it's like I just feel like that should have never even been a question on whether Mike Evans is going to retire as a Buccaneer. I'm like we have to just work that out. We have to figure it out. He's the greatest offensive player we've ever had in franchise history. I would hate to see him the last 3 years of his career. And one thing about Mike Evans, a lot of people, say, yeah, he's 30, he's getting older and everything. I don't like talking about this. I don't like talking about injuries, but that's the difference between a 30-year-old Mike Evans and a 30-year-old Odell Beckham, right? Mike Evans, thankfully, and knock on wood, he's never been under the knife.
No, he's
He's
only missed like
right. He's
2 games. Two with the no. He had a high ankle sprain and was hobbling and still
right.
beat the had like 160 yards.
And he had and his hamstring. He gets those hamstring issues like the last 3 years. but he's never been under a knife. And he missed that Super Bowl year. He missed 2 games. He missed the last 2 games. Um, he missed 1 game, and then Jameis last year he missed the last 2 games.
Man, that could have, man, someone was like, oh, he tore his ACL. And I'm like, okay, hyperextended. And then he goes off. I'm like, Mike Evans, he's like, oh, if it's not torn, I'm playing in that playoff game. I'm like, you're not going to miss his first playoff game.
So that's why I personally feel like he has a very strong 2 to 3 years left. Like I really do. I really think he can still be really good. Like he can still
top
beat
10 touchdowns and maybe top 25.
I still believe that about him based off his history as a professional athlete health wise. It's not Odell Beckham. It's not Sammy Watkins. It's not a Victor Cruz.
Kelvin Benjamin from Florida State.
Kelvin Benjamin. It's not even a Calvin Johnson with Calvin Johnson's feet problems. Like he can still play at a high level until he doesn't want to. And I love that we have a player like that can decide on his future with Levante. Levante is the same exact situation in my opinion. Like he's knock on wood again. Once again, he's never been under the knife. He hasn't dealt with a lot of concussions like Luke Kuechly. You know what though? There's not enough talk about Levante David as a Hall of Famer. And
he had a list Frank, and he was only playing at 60%. He said if it would have been fully torn, 6 to 8 month recovery, which probably would have been a surgery.
Yeah, that is true.
And
he played on that though.
60%. I mean, 60% is better than Devin White. Sometimes that
Devin White is an enigma, man. And the worst thing Devin White did was try to request a trade. He put a lot of unnecessary pressure on himself because you go out, you request your representation request that trade, right? And then you double back because you speak with management, which is what you should have did in the first place. Now, not only do you have to perform for the contract, you have to perform because to win the fans back. Like I'm like, dude, you're requesting a trade like a thief in the night. Like you can request a trade. It's okay. You don't have to play forever. You're not handcuffed, but the way you did it was kind of weird. It wasn't
like shady. And then you said, "Oh, can I join?" Like, "Oh, that green looks good," or something like that.
Right. That's how. It was weird. Like it was on some. And once again, another basketball. Now it was on like some Kevin Durant type deal. Like what you saying? We're not good enough to have you anymore. And then in turn, him doing that, he put that pressure on himself to perform this year, and he hasn't. He's one of the worst linebackers in the NFL. Like it's unbelievable, and it's to a point where I think this is a blessing in disguise. We keep Levante out, and Savassier Dennis plays, and I think Savassier may make a play or two here, splash almost like the Yaya Diaby and JTS situation. Mm-hmm. Yaya Diaby limited snaps, 2 sacks against a really good offensive line.
He's got 5 this year.
5 sacks in limited snaps. He's not even. We don't even put him on the field to rush the passer. We put him on the field for rundowns. And JTS is the weirdest thing, but a lot of people made a good point. It was a really good analogy that he's an athlete playing football, and you can kind of tell. Yeah. You can tell because his athleticism. He has a good win pass rush rate, but he can't finish. He can't finish because he's an athlete. He's not a football player. It's the weirdest analogy, but it works there. Like Yaya Diaby's a football player. That's why he's making football plays. JTS, with his athleticism, he wins a lot. He gets in the backfield, but his angles are always bad. It's almost like he just started playing football. Like one of those late bloomers. That's what I feel like every time I see JTS play. But I mean, he's a low maintenance, made of the right stuff type of guy. I just really wish his production would match his overall effort. Like he plays hard. That's my thing with JTS. He plays hard. I see Devin White not play that hard. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm sorry, man. I know I'm ranting on your.
No, you're good, man. I'm not gonna. So let's assume Levante is out, unless it'd be like, oh hey, I'm back, I'm playing. If Devin can't go, you starting Dennis and Britt?
I think at this point you have to see what because Savassi Dennis has been hurt most of the year.
Yeah, he had the hamstring for like 5 weeks.
Exactly. So I think if he's healthy, he can go. We know what KJ Britt is. KJ Britt is a career backup. That's what he is. He's not going to take anybody's job. But you drafted Savassi Dennis. Was he fifth round? Was he fifth round? Or yeah, he was fifth round or
Yeah,
third. Was
from
he
Pitt,
third?
from Pitt.
Yeah, he was fifth round from Pitt. So
And we
you
signed another
draft
linebacker, some some guy to the practice squad. So
right.
they
So
they promoted Britt, so they must think at least one is out. But I didn't see Devin get hurt. He played 100% of the snaps, but he
man,
played. I
Devin.
mean, he hasn't missed
I
a.
feel like Devin. I feel like Devin foot is more hurt than he lets on, and it's kicking him in the. It's backfiring on him. Like he's trying to show that he can play through injury, and because against Philadelphia, that's a pick six. He intercepted that
Oh,
ball,
the
and he didn't
groin.
even.
Yeah,
He didn't
the
even.
groin.
He didn't even try. He didn't even. But then something happened to his foot, so he's got a groin foot thing going, and he just don't look like he's playing at full speed, man. Like it just doesn't look like it, and that's unfortunate. But like I mentioned before, Savassier, I personally think you start Savassier because you drafted him to potentially be a future starter. So you need to see him. You know what KJ Britt is, and
How
you
about
know what he
JJ
is.
Russell? They promoted Russell to the 53.
JJ Russell, yeah, you know what these guys are. These
He runs
guys
like a
are
he runs like a 4.6. That's kind of against Jonathan Taylor, and Zach Moss is more. I
right.
mean,
Right. I think, man, I think people are gonna watch film on us, and
Zaire
I just
Franklin, you gotta. He's another Fred Warner type. I was looking at his highlights, but man, that dude is fast. He's always to the ball. All over the field. He can
I think
coverage.
people
He's got
watch
like
film on our
four
defense,
PDs.
and wow, okay. And I think Savassier, I think he has that type of athleticism. Like I know it was just preseason, but at the end of the day, he was still just a rookie. And training camp and preseason, he was making plays. He was making plays like athletic middle linebacker plays, like getting interceptions and making open field tackles. So I'm excited to see him in a lot of snaps because we got to see what we got. If we're getting to the point now in the year where we're trying to win these games and at the same time evaluate the roster. We're in such a weird spot
Yeah.
as a franchise right now, and and it is what it is. I mean, that's just the crux of it. Like we are in a weird spot, but we're in where you have to evaluate the roster, but we're still trying to win. Um, but man, I go back to how we let that game get away in Houston
In
and
Atlanta,
Atlanta,
Ryan
and it's
Neal, I don't
crazy.
know what you're doing, man.
Right? And that's my thing with Ryan Neal. He was the number one rated safety in PFF last year. Like he doesn't even show instincts that he can play NFL football. So I don't know where those rankings came from. Like his ankles are always bad.
Yeah, Pete Kerr. That's why they got rid of him and the Bucs signed him. Pete
I
Carroll
feel like
doesn't get rid of good players.
no, he does not. I feel like they knew what they
They knew
needed to
something
know.
was up.
And and quite frankly, I didn't miss him last week. I mean, not from the
Could
safety position. I
they
thought
could they use him like if Levante has a miss in the next couple of weeks? Could they use Neil more as that like what do you call
in
that
the box,
like a hydro linebacker? He plays
yeah,
safety, but he goes. I mean, because against Taylor and Moss, we're gonna need him. I mean, we got Vita, so but Levante's always running the ball.
Levante's always around the ball, and especially on those stretch runs that Indy likes to do, those outside the tackle zone runs. Levante would have been huge in this game. So I really want to see how we adjust to that. And I think the defensive game plan, especially without Levante, is we're going to try to make Gardner Minshew beat us. He's going to have to beat us. Um, and it's kind of unfortunate because our pass defense is one of the worst in the league. So I'm kind of nervous about that, making him beat us because he's played well in
Um,
spots.
yeah.
So I mean, he hasn't played well enough for me to be scared of him at this moment in the season, but he's played well enough for me to pay attention to, like, especially if both of our corners are out. And that's another thing about this offseason. What are we doing
Dean,
with what are we going to do with these guys? They're getting paid a lot of money. I think Carlton, his cap hit wouldn't be as significant, obviously, as Dean's, but I'm so disappointed in the step back that our corners have taken this year. I don't understand it. Carlton was one of the better corners in the league from a completion percentage. He didn't get a lot of interceptions, but a lot of teams that would throw his way, they didn't have high completions. And Dean made the plays. Dean hasn't made any plays this year. He's getting beat at the line of scrimmage by players like Brandon Ayuk, but you practice against Chris Godwin and Mike Evans every day. I don't get it. I don't understand what's not clicking. And then every time Dean gets beat, he gets hurt. I'm like, eesh. Like I don't know what we're gonna do at corner. I don't know. It's too important of a position for us to have this
I'm
type of
I'm
injury.
hoping Carlton can play. I mean, Michael Pittman is. I mean, he's not like a Mike. I mean, he's got almost 700 yards, so I don't want to have McCollum. So that
No,
way
I
you can
don't
put
either.
Zion on the other side against Josh Downs or whoever the slot or second
I
guy
don't
is.
even know who's behind Zion because they put Izzy in the nickel, so he's not going to be outside. Um,
Kenyon Isaac, and then they have Derek Pitts on the
this Derek
PS.
Pitts. Okay, Derek Pitts. I thought we were going to bring back William Jackson. I know we looked at him earlier this year when they thought. I think they thought Carlton was going to be out a little bit longer. And they brought William Jackson in just to give him a look. I mean, it's enough vets out there to where we shouldn't be going into the game not knowing who our other starting corner is. That's kind of frustrating.
They signed some other guy to the practice squad. Trying to think of his name. Um,
I'll go back
but
and look at
they
it.
already promoted Isaac, so that means at least one of your corners is going to be out. You don't
So
promote
at this
someone.
point, real quick, and I'll let you go. But at this point, we've lost the games that we were expected to lose, except for that Houston game. The Atlanta game, all right, but it's a division game. So division games, they can go. They're the weirdest games in the NFL. Look at Green Bay and Detroit today, for example. Detroit did some things to blow that game, to like lose that game, but Green Bay was ready to play, and Green Bay has significant injuries on both sides of the
Yeah,
ball.
Jair, their tight ends, uh,
Devondre Campbell,
Aaron
Devondre Campbell,
Jones.
Aaron Jones. They had significant injuries, but at the same time, schematically, they were ready to play football today against Detroit. Detroit still could have won that game, a play here and a play there, but it would not have taken away by how Green Bay was ready to play that game. And so yeah, division games. So we've lost to the teams that we pretty much, if you pull up the schedule, you would have said we lost to. We made up ground beating Minnesota week 1. Nobody had us winning that game, and I think we made up for beating New Orleans. But then we lost to Houston. That's a game we should have won, and Atlanta. So right now, if you look
Should
at
be
our
5-5 at
schedule,
least.
at the very least, we should be 5-5.
9-8.
42nd.
I think 9-8 wins the division. Maybe 8-9.
So I think we're still on track. Exactly to your point. If you look, I mean, we got 2 games against Carolina. We should not lose 1 game against Carolina. Just, I think, I
The,
think,
the
I think
Packers
right
scares
about.
me. A week before Christmas, cold.
Yeah. Wait, who? Who did you say? The Packers?
The Packers, yeah. The
Yeah, I'm
17th.
I'm supposed to be going to that game. Um, yeah, the Packers game is the 50-50 game. That's the coin flip game for me. But I'm looking at the schedule. 2 against Carolina.
That's 6. You beat Indy. That's
Saints.
7.
Yeah, Saints,
And then you got the Saints
Falcons,
and Falcons.
and I think we're not going to get swept by the Falcons. And it's really hard to sweep the Saints, even though we did it last year.
Yeah, New
So
Year's Eve.
I'm really thinking we're going to beat both of them. I'm really thinking we're going to beat New Orleans again. And I just
And
think we're a better team than all the teams in our division. So if
the
we leave our division,
Jags,
the
that's going to
Jags,
be a good
that's
game.
the
If
game.
we're both healthy, that's
That's
going to be a good game. We should be pretty
yeah,
healthy.
yeah. The Jags game should be interesting because I'm not a firm believer in Trevor Lawrence, but Doug Peterson has their defense, and Doug Peterson has them playing like way above. Trevor Lawrence right now. He's having an average year. I mean, he had a good game Sunday, but he's having an average year. And
You
I
think
just
you think Levante will play next week?
I think if he doesn't play this week, he'll play next week. I do. I mean, like you said, he still hasn't even today's. I mean, it's about to be
I
Friday.
mean, you know, I
We'll
mean,
know
you know he
today.
wants
We'll
to
know
play.
today. We'll get the injury report today. If he, we'll see. But I wouldn't rush him back because what it was a groin, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Those are too finicky. Those are too finicky. So you don't want to
Vita.
bring.
If it wasn't a short week for Vita, he could run straight, but side to side. You know, that's kind of Levante. You know, he's got to go side to side a lot.
Right, exactly. He got to go, and he does, and that's the strength of his game is his athleticism. Like he came in the league running a 4.5, and he looks like he can still run a 4.5.
Yeah, Dean. I don't know. They're saying week to week, so probably day to day is like, oh hey, day to day. Week to week is probably this week and maybe
I
next
just
week.
need Dean. Carlton hasn't been good all year, but Dean did play well against Tennessee at least, and I think he played well against Philadelphia.
Eh,
Too. I mean, Philly was a weird game. Philly was a weird game, and this past weekend was a weird game. We had a chance to win that game this weekend, like against the Niners. Like,
yo, Corey, you watch basketball, right?
yeah,
You hear what happened to Josh Giddey?
yeah, that man. Prayers up for everybody
How did
involved
they
in that
let him play
situation.
yesterday?
Um, I mean, it's kind of okay. So
Or that came out tonight or last night after the game.
yeah, after the game. So it came. So it's kind of fucked up. I mean, messed up. Sorry,
No, you're good.
because
I'm used to it, man.
yeah, it's messed up because I really hope it didn't happen. I really hope he's not out here sleeping with underage girls. That's weird. And then it's also weird that he put himself in that position too, even if it's not true. Like, so the court of public opinion matters. I don't even know how he's surviving through the day right now. Like, I know he's not playing in their next game. I know that for sure. He's not going to be in. He's not
They're
going to be
gonna.
playing.
What do they put him on? They put him on
I don't think
like
they did. I don't think they've officially done anything yet. But almost like what's the player? Almost like how Philadelphia did James Harden. It's like, nah, you can't be with the team. You know, we're not reporting to the NBA that you're suspended or anything, but we think it best you don't play, you don't be with the team. And I just think that's what they're going to do to Giddy. They have to get to the bottom of that. Like, it's too much money involved to where they wouldn't. Like, for her to just like, that's so weird for her to even say something like that. And it's even weirder that he put himself in that position. She's like 15, 16 years old. Why are you even around her? Like, why are you even around? Why are you even in that? That is such a weird situation to put yourself in. Like, to the point where I almost have no sympathy. Like, that's so weird. Like, so, and then she commented what she said. So the team can't just go off what she said. They have to obviously do like an investigation because um he can go to jail. Like,
yeah, the player from the Bruins already pleaded not guilty. Milan Lucic from the Bruins, and they arraigned him 2 days later. So they must
that's
have some evidence.
yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Perfect example. That I don't know what's going on, man. You can have any girl you want in Oklahoma. You get a and you got to go mess with a 15, 16. I don't know what they be doing in Australia, man, but you can't do no stuff like that. So that's just man, I don't got no sympathy for people that mess with kids, man. Like, whether regardless if he knew or not, like look at her. Does she look like somebody that's legal? Like, her pictures are all over, and it's also weird that her pictures are over social media. Like, she's a minor. Like, they're not even really supposed to be having all that information out about her. Like, she's a minor. Like her face should have been blurred out and everything. It's a very weird situation going on in Oklahoma.
You watch baseball or no?
Uh, October.
What do you think? What do you think about Wander?
Uh, who?
Wander. They said he was they were saying he was in a relationship with some 14-year-old girls, and apparently one girl was 18, and then the first girl said that she was never in a relationship with him, and it's been almost 4 months.
Where's he from?
He's from the DR, Dominican
Yeah. So
Republic.
see, all right. So see those and the majors got an issue anyway. They go get those guys from the DR that can't speak no English, and first of all, they be like 14 themselves. They lie on their birth certificate. They create false birth certificates and do all these things. Even though I know the Dominican is no, that's Puerto Rico. That's part of the U.S. But
Yeah,
so they do that. They go get these guys, these kids. So if he was over there in the DR messing with a 14-year-old, I firmly believe it. I firmly believe it because that's what they do. They well,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. She looked like she was like 18, and one girl was 20. She turned 20 in September.
whew, that's a that's a situation you never want to put yourself in. Like man, I work with kids, man. That's just you never want to put yourself in that position, man. I pray for everybody involved, um, because even if the girl was willing, she's a victim. She don't know anything about the you know like with the Giddy situation. Like yeah, she hot in the pants because she's young, a young teenager.
Yeah,
But
and the justice system is slow out there, but still, like they haven't raided. He hasn't been raided. He hasn't been extradited. He hasn't had his phone seized.
that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, man, so it's weird. That's what
So hopefully, hopefully he can come back.
how often do you do your stream yard?
Every now and then. I mean, I know you're gonna come on, but you said your power went out like last week.
Yeah, it was storm. Yeah, it rained. It went out, so you wouldn't have been able to see me. But
Yeah,
the
whenever I have time.
yeah,
I'm
I
usually
think we
off
should
on
start doing this.
Sunday and
I think
Monday.
I was gonna say I think we should start doing this post game. Maybe we should do one like before the game and then post. Cause I need to vent, man. Some of these like that Niners game. I had to just sit on that because I
And
call into the radio shows and stuff a lot in Tampa there, and you only get so much time when you're on like a nationally syndicated show. And
yeah,
sometimes I got so much to say because I watch the game. You know, we all watch the game, but I feel like you watch the game differently. I watch the game differently. You might see some. I might be overreacting to something that you might be like, nah, it wasn't that. You get what I'm saying?
hmm
Like, so it's
yeah,
cool to be able to vent and talk because then you could be like, all right, well, maybe I was overreacting to this, overreacting to that, or maybe I didn't pay enough attention to this. But I knew, I thought we made enough adjustments late in that game that gave us a chance to win that game.
yeah.
And we just didn't execute on those last two drives, especially the 17 play drive. We dropped two touchdown passes. Like Baker, and I get that a lot of people blame Tompkins, but Tompkins would have been wide open. Baker has to lay the ball out there. Like, let Tompkins go get it. Like, he threw the ball almost in the dirt, and he threw it so quickly. Like, he had no pocket presence to just lead him to that middle of the field. That was a walk-in touchdown. And my other problem is with Canales. We had two. I did not see Mike Evans or Chris Godwin get a target on those plays. Like not even Rashad White on an angle route or an arrow route or a flat route so he can make somebody miss. Shout out to Rashad White. So he literally tore somebody's ACL.
Oh my god,
Like
Tafanga, Taloyi
I didn't even,
Tafanga. I
bro.
mean,
Like I don't even know how to feel about that. I hate to see those guys get hurt.
yeah,
Um,
you could see it pop.
yeah, I hate seeing that. But when it's one of your favorite players that made it happen off a clean play, off him just being ridiculously agile and shifty, it makes you go like, eesh, like I don't like seeing nobody get hurt, but that was kind of fire. Like,
You live
like what?
you live in Nashville, Corey?
Yeah, I live in Nashville. Yeah,
Okay, I got cousins in. I think they live in Nashville or right outside of Nashville.
yeah. I'm north. I'm in Goodlettsville. I'm only like 15 minutes from the city though. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's Nashville's pretty big. Nashville's nice though. I love it. I love it here.
You
But I'm
gonna
gonna
come
go in
down?
here to work. Where you
All
at?
right. I'm in Lakeland, like an hour from the stadium. Well, like 45 minutes.
Oh, for real? Yeah. So I didn't make it to the stadium this year. I tried to go to a game. The last 3 years, I've been trying to go every year, and
Next week?
I didn't make it this year. No, well, I really, if I would have planned it accordingly, I really could have went to this indie game because it's only 4 hours away. I'd make that drive in my sleep.
Oh,
Really like
okay. That's not too bad.
three
That's like
hours.
from here to Miami.
I could have went to that game, but I didn't pay enough attention to it on the schedule. I really could have went. I could have went to that game. I went to Minnesota for that game, and then I'm planning on going
How
to
far of a
Green
drive is
Bay.
that? Like 12 hours?
Yeah,
14?
Minnesota's too far. I flew there. It was like
Oh, you
14.
flew?
Yeah, I was not driving in Minnesota. I flew there, and I had a time of my life. Um, I'm supposed to be going to Green Bay, but I ain't gonna lie to you. That's extremely contingent upon this weekend. Green Bay won, which was great. And then now if we win, it would really make me paying for the trip worth it. I'm not trying to go there and watch two bad teams in sub freezing temperatures. Like
Mm.
I'm not trying to do that. Like I don't like the cold. I don't operate well in the cold. It's just not my thing. So
Corey with some facts tonight. Hopefully the Bucs win.
yeah,
Time to get this done.
we should beat Indy, but at the same time we should beat Houston. But that'd be pretty cool though. We beat Indy. That'll make us. Let me see. The AFC will be 2-1 against the AFC South. If we beat who we lost to, Detroit and
Eagles, Niners.
we. I was just breaking it down by division.
Uh,
Oh, then we beat. So we're 2-1. We're 2-1 against the NFC North. 2-1 against the AFC South. So that'd be pretty cool. We can beat Indy, and then we can we're 1-1 against the AFC South. So we got Indy this weekend, and then we got Jacksonville in a few weeks. That'd be pretty cool. Not bad for a team that was in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Um, some people had us winning 3 games.
I think Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards next weekend. I think he can get maybe 900 and then 100 against the Panthers. Even though the Panthers have only given up the fifth most yards allowed, but Mike Evans usually does good against the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a division game. He's gonna eat. I'm not
J.C.
worried
Horn, I
about
guess
Mike
he's
Evans.
coming back.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
he had a hamstring.
Yeah, he's always hurt, so he'll probably come back and get hurt again. Oh my god, he's all J.C. Horn's always hurt, always, and it's like multiple games hurt. Him,
You ever been
Jair
to
Alexander
Hawaii?
the same way. It's crazy. Hawaii? No, I've never been out there.
Colorado?
Nope,
Oh, okay.
never been to Colorado.
Yeah.
I've
You
been
got to
out
get to Spain. That's where the girls are at, Corey.
Spain. Yeah,
Yeah.
say that to my wife. She's gonna leave me if she see this stream yard.
No, I'm just joking with man.
Nah, I'm gonna go and get in here and get to work, man. Let's. You say you free Sunday?
After the game, I got to work Sunday night.
All right. What
Might have
time?
like maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah. We could just do like a post game 30-minute show
Okay.
after the game. I mean, it's an early game. It's 1 o'clock kickoff, man.
5:30. Yeah, I don't go until
No,
7.
they
So
moved it. Oh, they moved it, didn't they?
no, that's next week. 4:05. The Bucks
That's
Panthers.
next week. That's
Yeah,
just
I'm like,
terrible.
you scare me. I'm like, I gotta go in at 7. I'm like, okay, that gives me a little time to come home and relax and get ready for work.
Right. All right, man. I'll holler at
5 o'clock is good. That's a good time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate that.
All right, man.
All right.
Later.